Welcome back everyone to my Let's Play of Dragon Quest V. Last episode we completed our backtracking and we're now going to start doing our adventuring. So we're going to advance the plot by heading to the Sky Tower that was mentioned in El Haven and also and the Oasis to the east of Telepador. So we'll get on a magic carpet. We're going to head to the north here until we get to the desert area, and that tells us to head to the east. Let me just head around this way, follow the water, and we're going to see the tower there. Then we just land, and we're going to head on into the tower. I was wrong, I thought we got the wagon in here. I'm thinking, I guess, of Dragon Quest IV. So yeah, I'm just going to take the kids with me, because I'm trying to get the kids leveled up so that we can take on that boss and get the final key. That really big boss that ate the thief. So... but this is kind of a short tower, but the enemies give really good experience. I think I gained like 3 levels each with the kids, so... oh, that fantastic treasure lies somewhere in this tower. So, definitely get some good experience here for the kids. I'm gonna head to the right here first. Grab this treasure. There's only 3 treasure chests. This is the only one you can really miss. The other 2, one is a plot progressive item, and the other one is the chest is right out in the open. So, this is the only one you can really, like I said, miss if you don't head to the right. There's a lot of places where we won't be going in this tower, because there's a lot of dead ends. But I'll just point out when we like skip a staircase while we're skipping it, and where it'll basically go. Some gargoyles there. They can be annoying because they can put you to sleep. And on the outside here, this is an enemy that really only appears on the outside. They can be real. If you're trying to fill up a bestiary, you gotta hunt these guys on the outside. So the Phoenix. Luckily, they don't rise from the dead when we defeat them. We'll just finish them off, and then we'll be heading our way down. And like I said, we'll be making our way over to the west here, to the left. There's a bunch of monsters we can actually recruit in here. The first one being this King Healer. This is a really annoying battle right here, because the Cosmo and Harriet, I should have just put it on take commands, because Cosmo and Harry want to take care of that King Healer, but I want to get rid of the Shadow Satan, because the Shadow Satan can cast the beat spell, and I don't want any of my characters being knocked out. But luckily, the kids managed to take out the King Healer, because King Healer tends to cast Heal Us All, which restores everybody to full hit points. So here's another new enemy here. The Behemoth, they're like the shield hippos that was hanging out with Kandar, and we were in the other tower, the Demon Tower, where Jami took Bianca. These guys can cast the Iron Eyes spell, but you'll notice that sometimes what Cosmo will do, that the Cosmo has the Zenithian sword, he will use the Zenithian sword, and what the Zenithian sword does is it removes all the buffs from an enemy, and ionization is considered a buff. It makes them invulnerable for several turns. So if you're just using the commands, where the tactic of giving them commands, you might want to have your hero use the Zenithian sword if they turn into iron, because it will remove the ionization. So here's another new enemy, the Lizard Man. I thought I could recruit him, but I think that they were only recruitable in the DS, the remake version. And see, Cosmo's gaining another level here. The main thing is we want to try to get them to, mainly Harriet, to level 22. That's when Harriet's going to learn the Decrease spell. We need her to have the Decrease spell. She already has the By Kill spell, and Cosmo has the Increase spell. Those are the 3 spells we all want to have when we took on that one boss. So we skipped going to the south. That would just take us to the outside, onto the one porch, like a dead end. So we just skipped going that way. And if this guy gets really close to the top, you can actually talk with him over the rubble. So yeah, when we went to talk with him, we kind of went out of our way to talk with him. And we'd go out of our way if we took out those first steps there. That leads to just the dead end. It leads to like another little porch on the outside. And you think this square, there'd be something in it, but nope, there's nothing in it. So it just looks like so, it just screams, search me, search me. So we're almost at the top of this tower here. We almost got all the new enemies. We'll search for the other ones that we didn't get, finish them off in this room here. We get up here, and here's like a Zenithian. So they're truly just a person that can brave enough to climb this tower. Once the Zenithian Castle is accessible from the top of this tower. But now the castle's fallen into a lake. And in order to get to that lake, or to get to the castle, they need this magma staff. So to the northeast of Granvia, there's a lake. If we look at the world map, if you went by that lake, you'll see the Zenithian Castle sitting in the lake. And there's a cave that I guess would take you into the underground, but there's a mountain blocking it, so we're going to have to use the magma staff to destroy that mountain. First we want to get the remaining enemies here. Here's another enemy that we can recruit in here, the soldier bull. Like I said, we won't be recruiting them because we don't need any monsters in our party. We already got Barongo and Slaylin. And Slaylin ain't seeing any use at all. You really won't. I mean, we could, if like I said, if I didn't want to level up Cosmo and Harriet. Slaylin has the increase and decrease spell, so I could substitute him in. Have him initially start, cast the decrease spell, then switch him out for Harriet, who has the by-kill spell. But Slime, he's earned his break. He did a lot of carrying in Generation 2. So you can just basically hang out and enjoy the wagon for Generation 3 here. We have one more monster that we can find in here. So it's on the inside, so it takes a little while to get to it, but now we could theoretically run to this monster on the outside too, but it's a little more rare on the outside of the tower. But there are some monsters we're going to have to farm outside the tower. So here we are, we got these unholy soldiers. Get to see Harriet's Snow Blast. Puts a lot of work in there. Basically cuts off almost half their hit points. So yeah, between her and Cosmo using the Fire Bane. Just in case Bean went, I had him select the Tornado spell, because these guys are pretty much at single-digit hit points by now. So yeah, Cosmo will wipe them all out with his Fire Bane spell. And there we go. The only thing bad is Cosmo has some healing spells, so you don't really necessarily want him using a lot of his attack spells. You'd rather save him for healing. Harriet, we don't mind if she uses all her MP for attack spells because she doesn't have any healing spells. She's just a pure, like in Final Fantasy terms, a pure black mage, where Cosmo is more of a red mage. He can use weapons, he can use some attack magic and some healing magic. So just gonna wander around here. We got two enemies you want to encounter out here. One of them we can encounter the Centaurus actually in the tower on the lower levels, and actually a pretty decent monster to have you join because it comes with some healing spells. So they can be an annoying enemy. The other one, the Ganesha, the elephant there, they're only on the outside here, so we get them both in one battle. So there's Ganesha's stats right there. You can drop an acorn of life. In my test run, there's a lot of those jelly men in the tower as well. And the jellymen in my test run, they kept dropping the small metals. So that can be a pretty decent place if you want to farm small metals. That tower, because like I said, all the enemies are giving good experience, and you, toward the top you can start running into a lot of the jellymen, and they will drop small metals on occasion. So I just use Slayland's Hat of the Window to show what it does. It takes you back to the last town or settlement that you were in. So in our case it was Ned's Inn. So we'll heal ourselves up here. That's good because we have a bunch of time left in this episode. Like I said, usually episodes around like 20 minutes or so, 15 to 20 minutes. So this will be a good chance to get all those sea monsters that I was mentioning that we still need to find to fill out our bestiary. So we'll put Barongo back in, because everyone's going to be gaining experience. Barongo has good survivability with his hit points and defense. And Sancho's good because he has that Zeus's Spear. Zeus's Spear, when used as an item, casts a lightning spell. And a lot of these sea monsters are going to be weak to lightning. They're going to take more damage from lightning. So Sancho's a good pick with that Zeus Spear here. So here's our first new enemy here, the Captain Kook over there. To the right. We ran to the Mother Octos on our way to El Haven in that little water shrine. Let's see if Sancho might use the... Nope, he didn't use it there. He was surrounded, so he has a lower hit percentage. I think it decreases down to 25%. So in that case, the computer may decide it might be better just to use the Zeus Spear as an item. So I think I saw that, read that sign when I first was going down the Telepador. Well, I'm trying to gain these, get these monsters. I'm just going to do like kind of a little tour here. So this is the center island here. We were told a lot about it. This is the island that we started Generation 2 in. We're going to see that big tower at the top. Remember in Port Selmy with the telescope, they kept saying that, oh, to the southeast, you can see this big tower in the clouds, in the mountains. And we're going to see that tower here. It's basically the completed temple that the Order of Light was building, that Bean and Henry were working on back in the beginning of Generation 2. And Cosmo gained another level. So he reaches 22. Now, like I said, we just need to get Harriet to 22. She's leveling a little bit slower. But there's the temple there. It's pretty much complete. You can help her this way to the west. This is where near Konobachi. And to the south here, southwest is basically where the Salabona is. But we were told to the east of Salabona is a forest that can take you to the fairy world. So that's that forest right there. We're going to have to go there eventually later on when the game tells us to go to the fairy world. But right now the game is basically telling us we need to get to the Zenithian Castle. But we want to fill out our bestiary first here, so we'll do a little bit of sea traveling. The dungeon to the Zenithian Castle, again, it's going to be like the tower. It's going to be longer than the tower, but you're not going to have your wagon with you. So I probably won't take the kids with me, just because the kids are mandatory for when you go to the fairy forest. Because remember when Bean saw the fairy, nobody else could see the fairy. None of the grown-ups could see the fairy. Apparently only children can see the fairies. So in order to progress to the fairies, when the fairy forest, when we're called there, you need the kids to be able to see the fairies and interact with them. So just to gain some experience on some other party members. And we'll just stop in here real quick. Saying this guy still appears at night, prevents you from going into Reinhart Castle at night. So nothing's changed there. Not that we can go back to Reinhart Castle, but there's not really anything there because we don't have the Reinhart key. We put that back in the depository. So So just off screen here a little bit, 'cause it took about 5 minutes to come up with this monster. It's the last one, the Grand Depth. The Grand Depth and the Captain Kook can only be found on the Inner Sea, which is the sea we were able to traverse in the Generation 2. The Marzonic enemies and this one last enemy, the Marzonic enemy can be found in the Inner Sea and the Outer Sea, and this last enemy that we're going to go find, the Little Eel, can only be found in the Outer Sea. So, if we didn't find the Marzonic enemy, we could still find it on the Outer Sea right here. But we already got that, so all we gotta do is find the Little Eel, and that will wrap up all of the sea monsters in the game. Then all the other monsters are just gonna be in dungeons or in the demon world. And end up going there. I'm sure you all probably guessed that, though. So those people were talking about how soldiers came to look for Papas. And here's the little eels here. And they're like almost like, not eels, they're like pufferfish. They puff themselves up and they hit into you. But not a difficult enemy, so let me finish him off. And that finishes off, like I said, the sea monsters, the sea bestiary. So now I'm going to do a warp to Oracleberry. It's probably the closest town to the Zenithian Castle. And I want to drop off some stuff here. It has a depository and it's close by, so nice place to go. We don't need the Lamp of Darkness anymore because one of the spells that Harriet learned was the day-night spell. The Lamp of Darkness only takes you from day to night. Well, the day-night can do both. It can take you from day to night, and just like the Lamp of Darkness, from day to night. So we'll drop off that Book of Ivol and another Leaf of the Wool Tree. We'll use that for, like I said, for the final dungeon. We'll come back here shortly then. Because we can keep the Magma Staff. Like I said, I want to keep that Staff of Source on Harriet, just so we can get that little extra scene when we finally do run into Bianca. That staff, you know, like I said, it removes the petrification from Bean, but we'll find out that it doesn't work on Bianca. I guess there's a stronger spell put on her. But you get that little extra scene if you have the staff. So there's the Zenithian Castle. You can see it really good at night. And there's a cave going to the Zenithian Castle, but as you saw, there are mountains in the way, but the Magma Staff will remove those mountains. We could keep that in our inventory to use as like usually I think a Firebane spell, but we're just instead going to drop it off in the Oracleberry Depository. And since we're heading into this another dungeon, pretty big long dungeon, we're just gonna get a little bit more defensive equipment. You can afford, if we sell Bean's Iron Mask, we're able to afford to get him his helmet, the new helmet, the Helm of Wisdom, which will increase his intelligence, so his spells might do a little bit more damage. Bean's only lacking, he has one more spell that he learns. At level 32, he learned the best wind spell, Arrow Cross. Of course, Bean really doesn't use many of his spells for attacking, but it'll be there. So now all we need is another one of those Helm of Wisdoms for Pippin, and then we can get 3 magic armors, one for Slaylin, one for Pippin, and then one for Bean. Although we may not need to get one for Bean, because pretty soon, like I said, we're almost at the levels to have the Harriet learn Decrease. And once Harriet has Decrease, then we can take on that monster that has the final key. And with the final key, we can go to that Emblem Cave that they talked about in Reinhart and get Bean's ultimate armor. So I may not end up buying that magic armor for Bean. So I can drop off the staff, Magma Staff. We won't need it, because Bianca will get a better staff when we get her back in the party. And We'll just have Harry keep that swords, staff of swords, and she can get this other sword that's pretty decent too. So that's it for this episode. We'll save our game here, and then we'll take the heal up at the inn, and then we'll take that magic carpet, go back to where the lake was, where the Zenithian Castle is. We'll head in there and see if we can somehow get it out of the lake. I don't know how we're going to do that, but maybe we'll find somebody who will be able to help us along the way. So take care, have a good one. Hope you enjoyed this episode, and see you in the next one. Bye.